Nice.
Here it is, Henry's Meatloaf.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we're going to be making Henry's post-holiday meatloaf for one. Meatloaf, or ML, is a Roman dish that dates all the way back to the 5th century AD and is said to be a distant cousin to the Dutch meatball. Contemporary American meatloaf, or CAM, has been shown by research to provide comfort to depression victims during the post-holiday season. So let's get started. Oh, and I have a new sponsor now. It's called the Pet Safe Mega Kitty Auto Feeder, and it's pretty cool because what it does is when roast beef's bowl runs out of food, it rotates and then it gives them another one, so I don't have to worry about feeding them. It's okay, just wait a couple more seconds and you're gonna have more food. I think it's gonna take a little bit of getting used to. He's actually had kind of a fast heartbeat lately. I'm gonna start by sauteing up some broccoli. The nice thing about meatloaf is that you can sort of hide your veggies in there. In fact, according to the World Health Organization, more than 200 Canadian men die each year trying to pee over the side of their boat while they're intoxicated. Okay, so I've got 1.5 pounds of ground beef.
Wait, what was that
just
stat?
your veggies in broccoli. The nice thing about meatloaf is that you can sort of hide
Did
your
you just
veggies
say?
in there. In fact, according to the World Health Organization, more than 200 Canadian men die each year trying to pee over the side of their boat while they're intoxicated. Okay, so I've got 1.5 pounds of ground beef here, so since we're just making meatloaf for one, I'm just going to take about 1/8 of that and put it in a mixing bowl. Now we're going to add the egg. I'd say about 1/8 of an egg should do. About 1/8 of half a cup of breadcrumbs.
About 1/8 of a half a cup.
And for our salt, the general formula is that you want about 1 teaspoon of salt per 1 pound of beef. So in this case, I used about 1/8 of 1.5 pounds of beef. So that's about 1/8 times 1.5, which is about 1/6 or whatever. So I'm going to use 6 of this is a half
Do
that
the
in our
math.
veggies. Okay, now we're just going to roll up the old sleeves here and combine it all with our hands. I like to think of all the ingredients sort of like as friends, and it's sort of like you're having a party where you're inviting all your friends. You know, apparently when Warren Buffett was growing up, he would have a hamburger for every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he died when he was 26 years old. I'm not talking about Warren Buffett, the famous billionaire guy. This is another guy from my hometown who just happened to have the same name, but he died because he had a shitty hamburger diet. Okay, so for our paste, we're going to use 2 tablespoons of catsup and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I don't have tomato paste, so I'm going to substitute some catsup. So basically just add more catsup. Now we're going to stir it up.
He's mixing.
At this point, I usually
Tomato
like to
sauce
add
or tomato
just a little
sauce.
dash of Worcestershire sauce. I don't have any Worcestershire sauce, but we can add some more catsup. Okay, now let's just put this on pretty thick here.
I don't have any Worcestershire sauce. Just gonna add some more
So we're
ketchup.
going to put our meatloaf in the oven at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. Meantime, let's take a look at some of the things we did here at Henry's Kitchen in 2019, underscored by the mellifluous tones of Jose Suicidio. but mine. Wow, that was delicious. Well, thanks for joining me here on Henry's Kitchen.
Did he green screen in this cat?
If you ever want to see me perform live near your town.
Oh my god, he's green screened in. Oh my god, they're both green screened into someone else's kitchen. That's hilarious. I actually didn't realize it.
You can check henryphillips.com or check the link in the description area. And as always, I want to say a very special thank you to the patrons at Patreon/Henry's Kitchen for keeping these videos alive the last couple of years. Thank
I fucking love this channel, man. Oh, this is my it's the chili one. It's the chili one. This is the best one. This is the best one. All right, watch this one. Watch this one. You may have already seen it, but watch it again.
Hello, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we're going to be making Henry's Anytime Chili for One. We're going to preheat the oven to 200 degrees, and you really want to make sure you... Okay, let's start by cutting our tomato. We want to cut it into 8 separate wedges.
You really want to... Oh my god. I can't. I can't.
As you see, I probably should have used a slightly sharper knife, because this...
Slightly.
Mince the bell pepper.
Mince it.
Now we're going to mince the onion. I remember when I was growing up in New Jersey, my brother and I used to fight all the time, and one time he threw a rock at me and he hit me in the head, I guess, and my head started to bleed. Now we're going to take all this shit and put it in a bowl for later.
It's
The
just
recipe that I'm using
superfluous like
makes it for
stories.
6 to 8 people, but I'm only making chili for 1. So I'm going to be dividing every one of the ingredients by 7. So instead of 1 can of kidney beans, I'm only going to use about 1/7 of a can, 3/7 of a can of tomato sauce. I don't have tomato sauce, but I have tomato paste, which is the same thing. 30 milliliters of Worcester sauce. By the way, my recipe is in metrics, so I'm converting as I go. 15 milliliters is 1 tablespoon. So 2 tablespoons divided by 7, that would be 2/7 of a tablespoon of Worcester sauce. I don't have any Worcester sauce, but I have soy sauce. 10 grams of chili powder, that's 1 1/3 tablespoons divided by 7 is like shit. It's like 2/7 of a tablespoon or something. I don't know. Teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper, some canned veggies. Now just stir it all up. It's very important when you're making dinner just for one to divide every ingredient. One time I forgot to divide the salt, and I put 10 times as much salt as you were supposed to have. And I was like, oh man, I fucked it all up. And now we'll put it in our oven. Okay.
I can't. I fucking love this video. This video.
Help me make it through the night, 'cause I am tired and alone. Help me make it through the night,
I love this video so much.
'cause I don't like myself anymore. Okay, well, it's been 6 hours. Let's see what we got. I'm definitely working up quite an appetite. Let's see. I mean, it should definitely be done at this point.
It's the chili, by the way. It's a little dry.
Peanuts. Well, thanks for joining us here on Henry's Kitchen, and please tune in next week. We're going to make gluten-free lasagna. Help me make it through. And alone.
Featuring the song Help Me. Oh, that video is just so good. How to make Henry's famous what? How to make romantic. Oh, I've watched so many of these. Wait, what's his most popular? Live performances. 15 years ago. Oh my god, this guy's been on the platform since it's like was made. Sort by most popular. Anytime Chili, and then this one. Okay, let's watch this one.
Translates to
11 years ago.
Hello, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we're going to be making delicious oven-baked French toast. French toast was originated by the French in the early 6th century, and they called it pain perdu, which in English translates to lost bread. And then later in the 16th century, Henry V. Well, let's get started. First thing we want to do, since it's oven-baked French toast, we're going to preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to break the eggs. You got a little bit of shell in there. I like to kind of hold it like this. Okay, so now we're going to add a couple of items to it. We have half a cup of milk. I don't have any real milk, but I have soy milk, which should work fine. I don't have vanilla extract, but I have maple syrup, which you can substitute. Just a little bit to taste, not too much. Okay, and then a little bit of salt. And finally, the magic ingredient, you're going to want to put a little bit of cinnamon in there, and that's what kind of gives it its sweet taste. And you could put other stuff in there
What is he
as you
doing?
get better at it. And now you just want to kind of beat it real hard, as hard as you can. A lot of times that's where people go wrong when they're making French toast, because they're not beating it hard enough. Okay, now it's time to slice our bread.
I can't. It's
We
so
want to
dry.
slice it up into manageable slices.
Stop.
And a common practice in the Middle Ages was that if a woman wasn't married by the time she was 20 years old, that was seen as a crime against religion, and then I guess she would be beaten into submission, or sometimes even tortured, or even executed. Okay, what we want to do is we want to make sure that all of our bread is
he makes it look so nice.
Our batter that we made. And,
submerge it in batter.
You can see that it's absorbing it quite
Any
well
sluggers?
here.
Yeah, I'll play hot slugs.
Okay, now that we've completely immersed our bread into the batter, we want to place them evenly out on a cookie sheet, and we want to give them a little bit of space in between. That's one of the things that a lot of people fuck up, is that they don't leave enough space so the bread doesn't have enough time to breathe while it's cooking. Okay, we're ready to put it in the oven. Okay, now we're ready to put it in the oven. Now for the hard part, waiting. We're going to wait about 20 minutes now.
20 minutes is a bit long.
Will be the most delicious French toast that you could imagine. So we're just going to wait about 20 minutes right now. Well, more like 19, I guess.
I can't, dude. I can't be asked. I can't be fucking asked.
Okay, I think it's time to take it out of the oven. Let's see what we got here. They should be, they're supposed to be a little crispier than that on the outside. I'm not sure if, well, these aren't even warm. What the hell? Oh, are you Well, I seem to be having a little bit of a problem with my oven, so I'm going to use the toaster oven instead, and it should come out about the same. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take our pieces of tray is a little bit... We're going to go ahead... Okay, now that we... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I paid that. Yeah. Minutes, let's see what we got. Well, it definitely smells pretty crisp. Let's see.
No, he's burnt. That's so depressing.
Oh, shit. What the fuck? Sometimes the bread's pretty good just by itself. Thanks a lot for joining me, and tune in next week when we're going to talk about how to make garlic bread.
Oh. Oh, it's not just... Giga Sag. Yeah, hots. Let's go.